We're here with Alan Cohen, Chief Commercial Officer of Illumio at VMworld 2016.
Got to be here, right?
Alan, can you tell us a little bit about your company?
Happy to. So Illumio is a data center and cloud security company that focuses on the interior of the data center rather than the perimeter like traditional networking technologies. And we've been in market for about 18 months. The company's about 3.5 years old, growing very, very rapidly.
What's the name of your product and how do you add value to your customers?
So the platform is called the Adaptive Security Platform. It's a software platform. It has two components, a client component that runs in servers and virtual machines and containers, and then a giant brain that we call the Policy Compute Engine that manages all of our services. The principal way that people use Illumio and how we add value is allow them to micro-segment as well as provide visibility to those interior of their data centers in public cloud without any dependencies on the infrastructure. For our customers, what they're really trying to do is really gain much better visibility and control on what's going on in their environments, and it allows them to do things. It allows them to migrate workloads to the cloud. It allows them to adapt to new technologies like containers. If they're doing M&A, it gives them the ability to really have visibility and understanding of the company they're acquiring, and then to actually wrap security around it and move it. Or if they're re-platforming, or they're adopting a technology like Nutanix. So when they're dynamic, distributed, hybrid, heterogeneous, we do that. And it's very easy to use. That giant brain does a lot of the work, so it doesn't require a lot of manual intervention. Never need to know things like IP addresses, so it really lets them adapt to a much more dynamic world.
Interesting. What would you say is your unique selling proposition?
Because Illumio is not dependent on any form of infrastructure, our customers can be as heterogeneous and dynamic as they like. So if they're experimenting with containers, they can extend their security policy to do that. Most of the traditional solutions are anchored to some form of infrastructure. For example, NSX is very much tied to ESX, right? It's part of the hypervisor. Security and Amazon are tied to security controls. Illumio doesn't really care, right? So our uniqueness is that no matter what you're running, any form of compute, bare metal, virtual machines, containers, or any environment, we're going to span those environments. And customers are increasingly heterogeneous as the world replatforms and makes these changes, so they can bridge their existing environment into their new environment from a security point of view. And that's what makes Illumio very much unique today.
What's the number one reason why people choose Illumio?
There's usually a compelling event. Right, there's no budget for Illumio when you first hear about us. Probably people watching this broadcast will have not heard of Illumio before, but we're going to fix that. Promise you that. So, but something has happened. The worst case happened is they've gotten breached and they don't really know what's going on. But more importantly, they said their CFO told their CIO that we're going to reduce our infrastructure spend and going to need to adapt and move to Amazon, or they're making an acquisition. So something happened in their environment, or they're doing something like considering NSX, but they're saying, what about the rest of my environment? So there's usually some action that causes them, and we meet them and they meet us that way.
Yeah. What's your strategy when it comes to attracting new customers?
For us, so interestingly enough, a lot of customers come to us through our website. It actually works. Okay. We have a very large and increasingly growing field force and channel partner, but people come to us because they're searching to do something. Those compelling events that I was talking about before, and when they're doing their research on that, Illumio shows up. But we're also, many of the analysts like Gartner are very high on Illumio and write about us a lot as well. So we're not a household name, but we're increasingly evident for people, and honestly, everyone's computing. We're here at VMworld. We're talking about clouds, we're talking about containers, we're talking about all of that change. That change is what drives people to look for technology like Illumio's. So that's been our principal driver.
Can you tell me about any product updates or new features?
So you'd like an exclusive on our product updates?
Yes.
I'll give you one tidbit, because you're good guys. So Illumio is extremely well known for one of our services, which is called Illumination, right? We didn't do it because we're fans of Harry Potter. The company sounds like it was named like a Harry Potter spell. Illumio, you're there. And a lot of our customers call it an MRI for our data center. People should expect to see in the near future some incredible enhancements to the visibility and capabilities that we have in Illumination. Because being able to understand see and really graph what's going on in their environment is very important to creating a security strategy. We already have a really advanced product, and it's going to get a lot more interesting over the next couple of months.
Well, that's terrific, Owen. Nice to meet you.
Nice seeing you.
Company.
Thank you very much.